Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? Back with another session of me and my friend Stripper Jim learning Unreal. I haven't entered his Discord yet because of course I'm gonna sell it and I don't want to bother him with that. So down in the description below there's a link to the Progress Shop where you can buy energy mixes, sleep mixes, and shakers. If you use query code Blackheart, you can get a 10% discount on your purchase. And now give me a minute while I hop on over to his stage.
Well, you know, uh, I pretty much did this pretty much last minute earlier today, so yeah. Um, but then again, I didn't go on to the adding windows and doors video here, so that probably could have helped me out a little bit, but I mean, oh well. Oh, I see Blackheart is in the stage right now, so let me go ahead and invite him to speak. Let him come on in when he's ready.
Hello.
So, are you ready now already?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. You started up your stream just a couple seconds ago, so that's why I was like, you need some time doing an intro. Because...
And mainly to like do a little bit of selling out without having to bother you in any way.
No worries, no worries. No, I mean, are you done with that, or did you need
I
to do that a little more?
I did
Okay.
already. I first take care of that and then I join your Discord.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure, my friend. So, yeah, I was just showing everybody how I was, well, how badly I did the walls and so on and so forth on my Unreal, and the fact that I didn't get the windows in at all. So it's like, oh boy, okay.
I also improvised something a little bit.
Yeah. As it is anyway, I was like going, oh, what? I need to, get a,
I actually want to replace a few things from it, honestly.
yeah.
Well, you finish setting up, I'll maybe see about
Yeah.
editing a few things on it.
Well, one of the things about this is like, you know, tried adding in a light source in here, or I did like a directional light, which
Only controls the direction in which the light goes. Light sources, I found it under lights, and it's the point light.
yeah. But if I wanted to have that aligned up with the the hanging light, for example, I need to make sure that you need to kind of center that a little bit, so that you can kind of show, like, you can see if it's kind of centered, um, correctly, where the ceiling light is located at, and then it makes sense. If it's slightly off center from it, then it doesn't really make that much sense as to now you're casting a light of the hanging ceiling lamp, even though there shouldn't be a source over there. So, oop, I moved the wrong thing there. So yeah, it was like, but what I need to do is kind of work on opening up the windows and the like that I put in. So I take it that you went to that one video adding windows and doors.
No, I just started messing around on my own.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Trying figuring things out in my own a little bit.
So you were able to kind of copy exactly what they had prior, or
No, so
add it.
I didn't exactly go for what was on the preview on the site itself. I
Mm-hmm.
just like went and did my own thing. I am kind of editing it a little bit because there are some things I'm not too happy with. I'm not too happy with the walls themselves. I'm trying to change those up.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, copy paste still works.
Right. Well, I mean, there's if you need to, you can always do the um duplicate.
Yeah.
You know, so so. Hmm. How did it automatically get? Shit. How did it automatically remove? Oh, it's brush type subtractive. Okay. Okay. So how do I get that in here? Hmm, I'm not seeing anything here for that. Unless I have to actually make like another like box type to have it subtractive to be and then place the window in there at the same time.
I'd say like make just a different piece and layer it on the side. Yeah, that's what pretty much what I did.
Well, no, I mean, what I'm saying is that I put in the I put in a glass window, from the content browser,
Yeah.
you know, um, there's a
Yeah.
SS glass window in there, and I'm like going, oh, okay, I can just put that in, and
Yeah, that's just the
uh,
glass itself. The frame, it's separate. I added the
so
frame first and then the glass.
the frame would allow for the subtractive material.
And doesn't subtract anything. Like I said, the wall is divided into multiple pieces. It's not one solid piece. I'm guessing later down the line it'll teach us how to merge pieces or something. At least I'm hoping it does.
Well, my point is that I'm looking at this window, or I'm looking at their example here, and they did brush settings, brush type subtractive, and when they moved the wall piece, what they did was they basically did a duplicate of a subsection of the wall. They had like walls that were kind of divided into separate stub walls, right? They had three walls kind of separated out. When they clicked on one, it showed only like a small portion of the overwall, and that's about it, right? They were just trying to get a single door into that structure, right? So what they did was they duplicated that wall piece, moved it out a little bit, uh, shrink the size of it to kind of match what a door might look like, and then they selected the brush type of subtractive in there, which allowed for it to, when they moved it back into the previous wall, it removed that portion like automatically. And I'm looking at that, I'm going, okay, how am I supposed to do that, with, can I not do that with the glass window? It doesn't seem that way, so it makes me think that maybe they're either, the glass window is just glass. It allows for light to kind of come on in, but it doesn't necessarily delete the wall portion
Pretty much.
uh, of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Uh,
From what I managed to see and understand from that sort of thing, that's pretty much the idea for that.
Yeah,
It's
which
just
I mean
a
makes
it's just a
which
random piece of glass, but it's not necessarily a something that will alter the other objects.
yeah, and but at the same time, that seems a little odd to me. Like, mm, I don't know. It feels like, I should be able to kind of subtract the, still kind of allow for the subtractive on the glass window, uh, my particular opinion. But I mean, let me move a frame in here and see if I can
And I
do.
tried that alright. Like I put the frame, I put the door, but it doesn't like remove anything. If I add one right now here, even if I were to turn in the right position, the frame would be there, but there's nothing. It's not cutting the hole. Because this same frame can be used, say, for a painting. And you wouldn't want that thing to be like getting rid of any edges. There. I don't know if you can see my stream right now. I got
No,
pretty much an example.
I don't have it up yet. Hold on.
Yep, I got 2 frames on, and I can kind of show you by selecting them what I did. Oh, and
You're not showing anything right now.
what do you mean?
Or wait.
It is.
Okay, there it goes.
Yeah.
There it goes. Okay. It didn't automatically play for me for
Yeah.
some
No.
reason. So. Right.
I got my 2 frames. This one I just added it in, and you see it didn't cut anything. This is the other frame which I added the glass later. Well,
Yeah.
this is one solid wall. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of wall, which I've been shaping to fit the frame.
Yeah,
Same
but
thing
you
I
should.
did for the door. I did
But
3
you
pieces right there.
But from according to the example that they showed in the video, um, you know, like here, let me. The link on the quick start. There's a need help punching out the holes for windows and doors. Check out our video on adding windows and doors. It's like the tip right below that portion. So if you look at that video real quick and you go to you get to, let me go ahead and put, around a minute 6. Okay, you'll notice that, well, actually, hold on. So at 36 seconds, okay, they have like a duplicate wall, okay, that they pull out, from, they make a copy of the wall in question in that video, Okay. And then they scale it down after that, so that, you know, you can kind of see that the size, you know, gets reduced down, and, you know, to kind of match a door, you know, in size per se, right? Obviously, there's probably going to be needing to have some adjustments on that, but you see around like a minute 10 or so. Let's see. Yeah, like around a minute 10. The brush type, they changed the brush settings on the brush type from additive to subtractive, and then they just moved it right back into the wall, and it automatically removes the contents of that wall in the same size of that particular box.
Well, let me
So
try it. Let's see.
let me see.
Make it
Let me see if I
the
can kind of do the
window
exact
frame
same thing here.
size. See if I can do the same
So
for that.
basic cube. Let me grab
Let's move this
drag
out.
a cube in. Let's see. Let's do 4, 4, and then nope, nope, nope. 0.5. Let's reduce this down to, say, 2, 2. Okay, let me reduce it down by a little bit more. So 1.5. Actually, let me do like 1. And this one I'll do 1.5. And then I will rotate this 90 degrees. Let's go ahead and reduce this down by a little bit more. Let's say 0.2. There we go. Now,
Maybe. Where is it? Where did the video show it again?
it's saying brush parameters, but where? Let me move it closer to the wall there, but
This is an old tutorial, so they could have actually changed it, and they just never updated the video.
yeah, I mean, from
It's
what
an
I can see,
8-year-old video.
it's 4.7 tutorial. So we're still we're at 4.27. So
That's even the later version.
well, yeah, but we're dealing with, you know, a fairly old um, hmm. Box brush. The type of it is called brush, so it might be not necessarily box itself, but maybe there's a different type of box out there.
Found it.
Box.
Found it.
Where is it?
Go to geometry.
Geometry.
Yeah, on the place actors, geometry. If you select the box, that one has the box brush.
Okay, so I can go ahead and delete this cube here. Don't need that one. Make a box brush. Okay, so add that one in. And then
Yeah, let's see about matching the size.
so we want that to be subtractive.
That's probably what we won't figure it out.
And rotate that by 90 degrees. And yeah, there it is. So just kind of dragging it around will just kind of wipe out, you know, additional details. But interesting. So when I'm kind of moving around the it's not deleting the basic boxes either. So the cube that we used to make, that I used to make the world, or
yeah, that's because they didn't use that cube. They used another
box
box.
Brushes. Yep. So they use the geometry box brush to kind of create the method of like generating the walls and subtracting from said walls. So which is interesting because the floor itself, is that not? I mean, I'm using
is
the.
not a box. It's not a cube. It's one
also
of these
a box brush, right? Yeah, it is. That's why. Okay, because I'm moving the one box brush around, and I can see it removing the floor. In this particular case, making holes in it. So okay. Good to know. So, so I guess if you want something that is, that you don't necessarily need to have anything cut out of it or something like that, then you'd want to use like the basics. But if you want to do something a little bit more in terms of, like removing parts of the wall and stuff like that, then you'd want to use the geometry box to kind of work on that a little bit more. So, okay, good to know. Okay, well, from my, concerning this particular experiment, I think I'm pretty much gonna go. I don't really want to mess with the objects anymore on this than I absolutely have to. I've already kind of spent enough time that I really want to on this for the most part. So, obviously, my particular room looks absolutely terrible, and I would not use this at all to even consider an actual room. I'd probably want to, like, tear it all down and start right back over again, personally. But I mean, that's not the purpose of our learning right at this moment in time. We don't necessarily care about, how something looks for our quick start.
Yeah.
So how about we move on to the editing placed actors?
Sure.
Or do you want to Do you want to do something else in particular, or?
No, let's move on.
Okay. I mean, if there's something else that you want to cover, then let me know. I don't want to step over you
No,
in
no,
this as well.
it's okay.
You okay? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll move on then. So, editing placed actors. With several different actors placed inside our level, the next step involves editing actor properties, basics, actors detailed panel that can change the look or the way the actor functions in the level, giving us a more customized looking level. We will start with editing the properties of our directional light actor, then shift our focus on applying materials to some of the static mesh actors that you've placed on in your level. So once you have finished this step, you will have seen where to access and modify the properties of actors so that you can begin editing and experimenting with different settings inside your own levels. So select the directional light actor by left-clicking on it in the viewport. So I need to find it again. I've put a lot of actors in here. There it is. Okay. In the details panel under the light category, enable atmospheric sunlight. So wait, under light, under light category. I don't see it. Maybe it's under advanced. Do you see it yet?
No. Let's see, directional, point light, spotlight, red light, skylight.
That was the way under indirect lighting intensity. Which, right, for this one, indirect lighting is volumetric, so that does not match with their tutorials right at this moment in time. So this is already a fantastic tutorial and is absolutely, you know, following what they've done. Okay.
Let's see, since I can't find it there. What's it called again?
Atmospheric light.
Atmospheric sunlight.
Or atmospheric sunlight. So. I don't see it at all.
So I'm looking on the other tabs to see if I can find it. All classes. Let's see.
Okay, I found it. They put it under atmosphere and cloud. It's no longer under lighting.
Atmospheric what? Cloud?
So there's a category down further in the details under retracing. It's like right near the bottom. It's like maybe 6 or 7 above, called atmosphere and cloud. Right below ray tracing, above performance. So unfortunately it's not in any alphabetical order, so that doesn't really help, but you know what I mean?
Atmosphere.
Yeah, let me look at your stream.
Let me open this thing real quick.
Okay, you are.
I think
You are clicked on the directional light, right?
I'm trying to reselect it. There it is. Where are you?
Okay, so under directional light, scroll down, and because it's not in lighting, there's
Found it.
atmosphere and
Atmosphere and
okay,
clouds.
yep. I think you were on the wrong light source, so that's why you weren't seeing it. Okay. So there's that. I wonder if there's a way for us to hold on. Remember where we left off because I want to see if there's a way to add a like. Is there a way where we can send feedback on the page? It doesn't look like it.
No, that I know of. Considering it's a previous version tutorial, I don't think they would have left any means to give feedback.
But this is 4.27 though. That's the point. It's like, let me see. Maybe under issues? No. I mean, we could probably try to send them something maybe later, but it doesn't feel like there's any like direct, like, um, one of the nice things about that I appreciate about my PEGA certification studies is that they actually have feedback on that page. So if I click on it, I can send them feedback about that specific page and they can address it right on that page. Kind of wish that Unreal did that as well, because this is kind of unfortunate. Oh well. We'll have to move on. Maybe if one of their devs are, watching this or something like that, they can maybe take my suggestion, but I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, I
Who
doubt it.
knows? Or if someone happens to watch these videos and, they know someone in the Unreal company or something like that, maybe, maybe hand them this video, maybe. I don't know. We move on.
Yeah.
So, depending on the rotation of your directional light actor, the sky color will change. If you rotate the viewport around, you will see that the sun now aligns with the directional light actor. This is a real-time process, so you can rotate the directional light actor, press E to switch to rotation mode, and the sky will change color from night to sunrise, daytime, and sunset. Okay. I don't really want to deal with that per se, but I guess if you really want to, I guess you could, do a rotation and whatnot. Although I'm not really changing anything right at this moment in time, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there.
No. Depends on the direction you're moving. If you move it up and down, then you'll see a change on the lighting.
But I mean, we're supposed to be in the rotation mode in R. Or wait, no, press E to switch to rotation mode. Oh, okay, there it is. Kind of difficult to rotate it when your mouse is kind of off the screen a little bit, but really want it to rotate very much, or it's giving me a little bit of difficulty with the rotation. Oh, alright. Let's see. There we go. Okay, moved it back to its original position for the most part. So, okay. Next we will change the material on one of your placed static mesh actors by first selecting it. With your actor selected in the details panel under materials, click the drop down box under element 0. And so now we're going to be selecting static mesh actor under materials. Wait, what? I mean, I get what they're trying to say, or in some ways, but in the details panel, or wait, oh, with your actor selected, never mind.
Yeah, actor selected.
So I have to select a particular actor, so I guess we'll just use our one cube, I guess. Okay. With your actor selected in the details panel under materials, click the drop down box under element 0. So
surface materials.
So materials, and we're clicking the drop down.
Yeah.
Okay. In the pop-up window, select M brick clay new material. M brick clay new.
Okay.
Well, this is a little difficult because now my light source isn't really giving me a good a good view right at this moment in time. Yeah, let me move my point light here down a little bit so I can kind of see the full on that side, and then maybe we'll get our directional light source to rotate. There we go. So now we can kind of see the texture, you know, not only from the inside but from the outside as well. So, okay, you're fine with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously that's, you know, that's very helpful when you want to, you know, change your textures and so on and so forth. So,
Yeah.
So yeah. All actors in your level have many properties for you to adjust inside the details panel. Explore changing their settings. I mean, it'd be nice if you guys could maybe go through each one of the settings, because I would love to learn each one of the settings, but this is a quick start, so they're basically saying, hey, play around with it. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know, I would love a little more detailed explanation of what each one of the settings is, and
yeah, something there is also that I noticed, since I do have both versions now added in to look at. Well, in the cube, you change the texture on it. It changes in all of it. On the box alone, it only changed it one face. Well, I had to add the other face manually. I don't know why for the box it doesn't change it for all of it.
What do you mean you mean the box brush?
Yeah, the box brush. when you give it a texture, it only did it for one side. Then I had to add the other side manually. When I selected a cube, it did the whole cube in one go.
Okay, well, I'm not even seeing under box brush. I'm not really even seeing a.
Materials? It has surface materials. It has.
I don't see a materials topic like it would, you know.
Yeah, no, it has surface material alone. Like it's like material needs to be added separately. That part it doesn't say how to though. Which should be part of the basic. If you're adding boxes that don't have basic materials, shouldn't we learn to be able to add the different functionalities to it, like material itself?
Hmm.
I'm trying to see if there's a means to just straight up add it.
I'm kind of wondering about this because it's like, you know, well, obviously subtractive, you know, you know, you don't really need to worry about a texture when it comes to subtractive because it's, you know,
Yeah.
it removes it. But if it's an additive, like you know, the floor is, then you would think that it would have a material to it, but I'm not
No, it's
seeing
only
it
surface
anywhere.
material, and like, it makes sense if you're giving one texture to one side and a different texture to the inside. But if you wanted both of them to be the same, then you need to add it 2 times.
Wait, how are you adding the texture to it? Let me see.
Surface material on the on the normal box.
Well, okay, be careful. On the normal box, do you mean the cube?
No, the cube is a cube.
That yeah,
The
the cube under basic, you know, which is kind of what we were kind
Yeah,
of
that one, if you
like in,
give it material, it changes everything, all of it, all the faces.
right.
But on the
Um,
box, which is
which is
where we were
the,
experimenting to like
with with the geometry,
yeah, to cut the hole on it.
right?
Well, that one you can only do like one face. Like right here, I'm showing the one side of the faces that didn't change textures, while the other one did.
That's interesting because I'm not seeing the
On a cube, it works fine.
um.
Like I'll go over to the cube. I only had to give it to it
Well,
once. It's all over it. Now
right.
I'm
Well,
trying
I mean,
to see if there's a
okay.
means
So
to add
hold on.
material
Time out.
to it.
Time out. So under the cube, I can definitely see materials as its main, yeah, as its own like topic, much like the atmosphere and for the sunlight, for the directional sunlight, right? So I clearly see materials under the cube, okay, and that, you know, you can do the drop down to change the texture on that. Okay, when I go to the box brush, which was the original floor that they gave us for
Yeah,
this particular level.
and what was
Okay,
shown in the video tutorial as well.
right. I don't see a part in, you know, I don't see a um like a full topic of the, you know, of materials and the box brush itself. So where are you finding the attribute to add a texture
Surface
to?
material.
Where is it?
Underneath transform.
I don't see that under transform. I see brush settings under transform, but I do not see
Look, I selected a floor that doesn't have a single texture on it, and surface material is there. I didn't add that. It was there.
That's weird. Because I didn't add this box brush in before either. This is something that was kind of added in.
Yeah,
Or,
that was also in.
So
If I add another box, strange. Strange. I just added a box, and now it no longer has that surface material, and I didn't add that.
Okay, go back to the one that you were modifying the settings for.
I didn't
Or,
modify
you know, that
anything.
that had the surface.
Yeah.
What is its type on the right-hand side?
Box brush. Brush type.
Brush type. Okay.
Yeah, just. Now I select the new one that I just added. Now it has surface material. When I just added it, it didn't have it. Now that I reselected the new box brush I added, now it has surface material. It popped up on its own. I don't know what's going on there.
Okay, we're gonna have to figure it out because I don't see it at all. Even under.
I don't know what's going on. That's the thing. I don't know. If I add a new box brush, it doesn't start off with it. If I deselect it and reselect it, the surface material shows up. Like, click on nothing and click on it again.
Yeah, no, it's not coming up for me at all, so...
What if you click the box itself? Like, don't click in it and click on it again. And click on the object itself.
Now it shows up. That's... Okay, so... Okay. This is probably what the reasoning is for this. So, okay, you have the box. So if you select it from the world outlier, it's trying to focus on, you know, just the overall box brush. You know, moving it, changing it from like additives, subtractives, so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
If you deselect it and select on you know, if you click on it, like you said, now it shows the surface materials, but it's only showing the surface material for that specific surface. Okay? So, for example, if you were to say, like, here, I'm gonna click on one wall of, like, I created a new wall, right? Here, let me kind of.
I do have like cubes, but that doesn't apply for cubes, strangely enough.
Right. So this is clearly just for the brush box. Okay. So if you're looking at my stream right at this moment in time, okay, I clearly changed one part of the box surface or box brush surface by clicking on it. Okay. I changed the material type to M-brick hewn stone. And then if I click on the other surface, which it has none, I can change it to a different one altogether. So like so. So now I have two different surfaces right at this moment in time with two different textures on the box brush. So So this is interesting. It's, a little different than what you were and than what we're kind of expecting. So, but the cubes are allowing for like all the surfaces to be changed. But it doesn't allow for any kind of additive and subtractive. So it's basically along the lines of you'd probably want to use that for, say, um, like really like surface areas that you don't really want to have any kind of removal from, or maybe you don't really want to um, have any like major changes to it.
Yeah.
Whereas the box brush is something that is geometry, something that can change or can be adaptive or whatnot. Um, so like you'd use a cube for something like a building that is just there, you know, a building that will never move, never change. You slap on a texture on it, and you're like, yep, there's nothing you can do to it. You can't even destroy it or anything along those lines. But maybe the box brush is more something for um, something that can be changed. Like if someone shoots a wall, for example, you want that texture to suddenly change at that particular location, right? Or maybe you want to add a particular texture to that one particular spot for like a bullet hole or something. So maybe that geometry kind of adds that um, potential in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just speculating, but I'm just you know I'm not 100% sure, so I'm just kind of thinking out loud right at this moment in time. So okay. Um. So I figure we're pretty much done with the editing placed actors. So interesting that you know you have the different actors have, well, I mean, obviously, each actor has their own different um attributes to them, much like the uh, directional light, for example. It has had that atmospheric sunlight. So but yeah. Okay. uh By now you've no. Okay, shall we move on, or do you want to kind of call it at this point, because we're kind of running out of time right at this moment, and this next step is going to be. It seems fairly long.
Yeah.
Do you want to call it now, or do you want to finish off step 6?
What does step 6 actually say from where we left off?
It's about, I guess, build options, lighting, and so on and so forth. So,
We'll leave it for
um,
next time then.
yeah, it seems like this one is like, hey, you've put everything in, you've put all the textures and stuff like that. Now you need to kind of make it playable. Is kind of the impression that I'm getting from the running the build process. So it's basically taking everything in and building it in such a way where you can now like put an AI into it and have it like interact with everything that's in there. So that's what I'm figuring. So that's what the build process is all about. But that's obviously that can potentially be quite a bit. So okay, shall
Yeah.
we kind of call it here, and we'll continue this um we'll continue this tomorrow.
Sure.
Okay. Um it's slow going, but I mean we're seeing we're seeing and experiencing different parts of the tools. So I mean, it it will kind of allow for us to learn more. Now, obviously, we've already seen that their tutorials aren't necessarily matching exactly with their tool. Case in point, the atmospheric sunlight. But you know, it still gives us a little bit to kind of work with, or try to figure it out. Are we going to be able to, use this per se in like a 2D, building a game in 2D and stuff like that? Who knows? Probably. Um, because right now it's still feeling very much 3D.
Yeah.
So trying to build a 2D environment with what they're giving us, I don't know. It might be a little difficult, but we'll see. So, because I kind of want to try to keep with a 2D game for right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Even though technically, I mean, if they're giving us all the tools to make a 3D, we could try to do that. But again, we don't necessarily have the artists and the tools to build like 3D assets on our own. So
At the current time, no.
yeah. So, and I don't know if I don't know if Unreal can allow for us to actually build like 3D assets like a person, for example.
It
Unless we
might be
use
possible.
unless we do something like a very like blocky, Minecraft-ish character or something like that. Then maybe, uh, um, but again, I'd be very, if you know once we get to the point of trying to figure out what we want to do in terms of game and game design, then we'll have to really tackle what we want to do at that point. But we're not there yet. So, but
Yeah. I'll
okay.
probably look on off stream to see if there's any way to give it a solid material after doing the cutout, so that you don't have to
What do
do
you mean?
both faces. Because if in the case of the cube, yeah, you only put the material and that's it. You get the whole thing.
Right.
But on the cube, you can't cut it. Like, it doesn't let you. Not like the brush. But if you put on the brush, you only get surface material. I'll probably try and look off stream once you like cut the hole on it, if you can make it into, if you can add a material to it. Because the tutorial's not is not, because the tutorial's telling us it's not telling us actually how to do that, and it feels important. And if you're making a structure like with the cubes, you gotta use multiple cubes because you cannot cut into it. But if you're using multiple cubes, when you put the texture to it, it's not gonna match. It's not gonna line up unless you figure out a way to merge it.
Okay. I see what you're kind of going with on this, because if the texture alignment doesn't really match up, then, well, I mean, okay, so if you've seen in other games, the texture, if you're trying to put like one texture on one part of the wall and another, and the same kind of texture on another wall, and it doesn't necessarily line up, then you see the crease, the line.
Yeah.
And I get you on that one. So it makes you think that, well, why not just make the entire surface of the cube, or just build like an entire building out of one like major cube, and just have the entire surface as that cube. but as we've already determined, we can't necessarily cut a doorway out of it, right? Unless, of course, we like try to paint something on it and basically kind of do some really funky.
Either
Um,
carrion.
I
Yeah.
mean, unless we do some really interesting magic to kind of like show like we create a door on one side of the wall, create the door on the other side, or something, or like inside the cube kind of thing, and or whatnot, and then we have like cameras kind of pointing out and in and stuff like that, and you could try doing it that way. It's like that's gonna be interesting. We could try to do some magic along those lines, but yeah, it's gonna be that would be a little rough to do. Obviously,
Yeah.
the box is probably our best when it comes to creating a full-on wall. And to be honest, we might need to do that anyway. Like we do 3 cubes for the walls that don't have doors on them or something like that. Um, and the other one as the other building wall as a full-on box brush, and then we can put on all the windows and all that. But
Yeah.
it's feeling to me like the box brush is the best one to use if we're gonna be needing to have something that allows for like light and stuff like that to kind of go in and out of, players to kind of go in and out of, and so on and so forth. The box brush would be anything with the brush. Box, cone, cylinder, curved stair, linear stair, spiral stair, sphere, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably going to be our best tools when it comes to allowing for anything that you know has any kind of character interactions with in some fashion or another. Allowing for windows, allowing for doors. Um, Whereas cubes are just going to be there to kind of be like stationary, non-movable, you know, um, just something that's just like going to be like, yep, this is it. This is all you're going to be seeing, kind of thing. Um, but yeah, and we can work with that if necessary. So, but or we can try to figure out what we want to do with that. But for right now, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
You gotta get out of here and get yourself something to eat before we do Phasmophobia, my friend.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and call it. And I'll see you in an hour for some Phasmophobia. So you can get yourself some uh, get,
Some substance.
yeah, and build up your nerves. Strengthen your core for the eventual jump scares and scary atmosphere of Phasmophobia.
Yep.
And we'll continue the Unreal session tomorrow. So, um, but yeah, more to come. But I'll catch you later, my friend. You have yourself a good night. Or
Yep.
see you in an hour.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Bye. Okay. So yeah, this is something I'm gonna have to mess with probably off stream a little bit. As for the Blender stuff, I don't know Blender. That's the thing. Like I am not an artist or of any kind. And I'm probably gonna have to experiment with this a little bit off stream, alter it a little bit. Because even though the tutorial shows the use of cubes, you cannot cut holes on the cubes. Like that is static. Like if you use cubes, I have to use multiple cubes, no matter what. Well, I would have to use multiple cubes, and if I added textures, the textures won't align. unless I figure out a way to merge it, like to take multiple cubes and merge them together, like just select all of these and somehow make it one solid object. I have no idea if that's possible. The tutorial has not shown us any means to do that. It just told us, okay, this is how you can put cubes and items like that. It didn't tell us anything else. Wait, I'm looking at the tutorial, I just noticed something. Static mesh. Oh. Okay, let me try something before I call it, and tomorrow I'll probably mention this to Jim. If I can find it. What's the name of it again? It's in alphabetical order, so... Oh. Okay, I solved it. Tomorrow I'll do that with Jim. So anyways, I'm gonna call it there right now. I'll show that what I was just messing around right now. Along with Jim, now that I know how to do that. Something that I didn't exactly mention. I only noticed it because I was looking at the image just now and noticed an oddity on it. But at least that'll actually solve a little bit of the problem and actually make it look like that in the tutorial. Alright, anyways, that's gonna be for tomorrow. So that's gonna be it for the Unreal practices I'm doing. I don't know, a Blender, like you say over there. I don't know if I'll do videos of it. I don't think I'll stream it since I don't really have that much time. I'm already doing like roughly 3 to 4 hours of stream. Actually, at least 4 hours. Although when it comes to Phasmo, I might make an exception. But of games, which is what I normally started this channel as. But when it comes to where is it? Okay, comes to Unreal, I only do an hour, and I'm already like doing it on the very small window frame that I have to stream. That won't bother my brother since he works on the other side of my wall, and I don't want to be bothering me. He has meetings up to a certain time, and this is like that around the time that I can do this stuff. So anyways, I do need to get something to eat right now before I start my next stream, so I'm gonna end it there. I'm going to quickly meteor shower someone over on B stream side, and I will rebuild that whole thing off stream now that I know how that works. Let's see. Oh, great. I'm gonna close this down. I don't need that open anymore. Let's see. We got a classic going on with banjo, but also ASMR. I'm not really. I don't really like ASMR. Not gonna lie. Okay, we got Overwatch. We got. Alright, someone's paying notice me, senpai. Unauthorized vlog. Okay, there's one possible because he only has one viewer. Let's see, I don't want to do anything spooky. I want to see if anyone's doing anything beginning of the month of horror. Only one, but I wanna. Let's see. Well, it's not exactly spooky, and they are almost done, so. Yeah, they'll be finishing soon. They'll be going for 7 hours, and I know this person actually. I've meteor showered before. Gigabytes, I think it was. So let's go with Pastel. Pastel is someone I'm following, and I actually don't recognize this that they're playing. Oh, Payday 2. I actually never played that game. Let's quickly meteor shower this person. Meteor shower. Pastel. Hopefully this works. And yeah, okay, that meteor shower is set over on base stream, so I'm gonna end it there. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this stream. If you have any suggestions on how, kind of what we were struggling with, and maybe things you should be aware of that the tutorial's not showing us, leave it down in the comments below or on the YouTube site. And Vstream, I know comments will be added soon, fortunately, according to their later. But anyways, bye bye for now. See you in about an hour.